energy is related to art and expression, and I pulled from the Dali Tarot tonight because I thought that that was relevant. I love Salvador Dali, and I love this tarot deck in particular. It has this big, beautiful, giant book with it, and it's because it's in a lot of languages, but it also tells you the art on the cards, and it describes a little bit more of what the concept is of the card from different perspectives. A little bit different beyond the tarot. Really like that. I have a past, present, and future card, but I do want to take a moment just to take a breath and thank these cards for being in our circle tonight. Just thank the energy of the tarot for being present. Ask ourselves to receive what it has to offer us tonight and trust in the messages as they come through to us. For our past card, I received a reverse card. It is the Five of Wands. So this card is related to the artwork of the Kiss of Judas. And typically when the card is upright, the Five of Wands, it's all about using our magic for growth, but also getting very focused on where we want to direct our magic. It can be a lot of ideas scattered around, but trying to make choice about what works best. Now, when this is in reverse, it's a protection message, right? This is reminding us that, hey, we do have a lot of ideas. We do have a lot of capabilities. We have a lot of possibility right now. There's a lot of potential, but where do you really want to take action? Notice all of this red on the card. Red is a sign of taking action in the tarot. And this is reminding us that it comes from our center, it comes from ourself. We have these clouds surrounding the border of the card. We also have these butterflies that are upside down. They almost seem to be suspended in midair. We're in a portal of transformation. There's a lot of change that's going to happen, but right now we're kind of in a sacred pause before it all plays out. We also probably have a lot of ideas and goals and dreams fluttering about right now in our heart and in our mind. But when the Five of Wands is reversed, it says, hey, pick a path. Pick a road, pick a focus, because if you don't, everything's going to remain scattered. And all of these dreams, they're not going to take flight. And they're probably just going to scatter about. You're going to spread yourself thin. There's not going to be any structure, and you're eventually not going to have any growth. So take heed to this protection message. Make sure that you are getting into the details of your dreams underneath this Pisces moon. Really slow down. Think about what you want. Think about what dream you really want to put your energy toward. Because as I've mentioned, we have the eclipse season coming. And everything we do right now and in these next 2 weeks will set the standard moving forward. Any dream, goal, project, ambition that you start working on in these next 2 weeks and during this Pisces season will probably stick around for the next 2 to 3 years to come, or maybe longer. For our present card, so appropriate, I got the Hanged Man. And I feel like we've been playing this card a lot. It is upright in this case. And for our present moment, yes, we are kind of hanging around and waiting for what's to come. Anytime we receive this card, it's about patience and waiting for things to unfold. But I feel like with this particular Pisces moon, the Hanged Man is saying, just like, hold my beer. Just wait. You think things are crazy now? You thought it got crazy when we had the great conjunction in 2020. You think things were a little crazy when Pluto shifted out of Capricorn and into Aquarius back a few months ago? You think things are crazy as we had that Lunar New Year and Aquarius lunar cycle and the Aquarius season? Get ready, because there is more to come. And as astrologers know that the astrology of 2025 is wild, but the astrology of March and this particular Pisces season and Pisces lunar cycle is absolutely insane. I feel like every single day we've got something going on or we're getting ready for something else to happen. So get ready because in 2 days, Venus will go retrograde in Aries, a sign where it is debilitated, a sign where it struggles to find more time for self, where it struggles to find its worth, where it struggles to trust in its creative process. We're also going to have a total lunar eclipse. We're going to have a partial solar eclipse. We're going to have a Vesta retrograde, a Juno retrograde, a Mercury retrograde that goes from Aries back into Pisces. We're going to have so many planets in Pisces. And we're also going to have Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, shifting into Aries for the first time, shifting into a sign where it hasn't been for a very long time. So get excited for what's to come, but also take time to slow down. The Hanged Man wants us to rest, wants us to pause, and wants us to be sure about where we are directing our energy in the future. Perfect card after a reversed Five of Wands. I also want to point out here on the card, we've got 12 for the number. And we're kind of in this final hour. We're in the 12th zodiac season, Pisces, and we're coming up on the final hour of Neptune being in Pisces, which is kind of cool. We also have the Uranus symbol here, which is the ruler of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is just getting started. Everything that's changing, all of these things that are happening so quickly, all of this rebellion and revolution that's happening, we're only getting started. So, again, I do believe this card, the Hanged Man, is saying, just wait. We are only beginning the process of change. Finally, for our future card, I got another reverse card. So perfect. The Wheel of Fortune. And anytime we have this in a reverse, it's a protection message. I'm going to cough. I might cough a few times. I feel a tickle. Apologies. Just a moment. I'm going to step out. All right, I'm back. I'm alive. Thanks if you're alive for taking that short break. Now my eyes are all watery, of course. So, Mercury. I'm going to cough again. Goodness. I'm clearing it out. One thing about Mercury retrogrades and the time leading up to Mercury retrogrades is we get incredibly challenged with our throat chakra. Maybe it's just with expression or voice and bringing voice to things, but it can also be the actual throat and wellness in the throat and sinuses and all of that wonderful stuff. And I always share this as we get close to retrogrades with Mercury that I was born in a post retrograde shadow. So I was kind of born in that Mercury retrograde window. And because of that, you'll see it if you're with me long enough, if you've been with me long enough, if you've viewed my past transmissions, you know that kind of before the retrograde and after the retrograde, I have challenges with my throat chakra. I have challenges with my tongue. I get tongue tied and tongue twisted, and my words get all mixed up. I've even had a little bit of that tonight. But the actual throat, I tend to always have sinus stuff and postnasal drip and all of that stuff around a Mercury retrograde. So thank you for your patience. I'm a real human in a human body having human experiences like sinus issues around this new moon in Pisces. And I'll just mention that this new moon in Pisces is also in Shatabisha Nakshatra from the Vedic side of the world. And it is all about bringing things up that we may have been dealing with for a while. So I have made a commitment underneath this moon to connect with a couple of healers in my local area to address some of the issues that I have been having that have been going on for a long time. And a lot of it I know is just allergies. I am not from the Midwest. I am not from Southeast Iowa. And it's a different climate. It's different chemicals from the agriculture. There's a lot of stuff in the air from the Mississippi where I live. Like I live right on the river. I don't live on the river, but I live in a town on the river. And all of that challenges my allergies and my sinuses. And I've noticed just in the past, I don't know, few weeks that my sinuses have gotten really challenged with the warmer weather. And so I am committed to meeting with a couple of healers tomorrow, actually, to address some of these things and maybe get on some sort of support to help it all. So thank you for your patience in the middle of that card reading. A little bit of interruption, but very relative to what's going on right now. There is a lot of sickness going on right now as well because it's February, at least if you're on the western side of the world, there's a lot of sickness that happens right now. So even more important for us to slow down during this new moon in Pisces, take care of ourselves, make sure that we're healing any wellness challenges that come about. Back to the Wheel of Fortune before I got all blocked up in my throat there. We have it in reverse. And it is really interesting with this particular card because we have the zodiac, some of the symbology of the zodiac around the card. I'm going to see how close I can get it here. So the zodiac wheel and some of the symbols of the zodiac. And again, we're in kind of this final zodiac sign of the zodiac wheel. We're in Pisces season. We're under Pisces moon. This is the last new moon of the zodiac season. So it's reminding us that, hey, we're kind of in this final hour. We're in endings and beginnings, and there's a lot that can play out from here. We also have this arriving as our future protection message because we have eclipse season coming, right? And eclipses are all about the fate of our karma. It's about whether we want to stay on the same wheel and the same cycle of learning, or if we want to get off that wheel and go on a different journey and learn a new lesson. There's also always free will to decide what you want to do, and no judgment, no right or wrong on what you choose. But it is important to choose. So just like this reversed 5 of Wands said, get your priorities straight, decide where you want to focus your energy. What do you really want to work on right now? And just like the Hanged Man said, hey, there's a lot to play out. So take time to make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure that you're ready for what's coming in the future. And the Wheel of Fortune in reversed says, make sure you pay attention to the things that come your way when they do arrive. Does it feel like deja vu? If it does, ask yourself if you want to have that deja vu even again in the future, or if you're ready to maybe get rid of that repeat pattern that keeps rising up in your life. The Wheel of Fortune reminds us that the world is always turning. We are always moving forward. Time is always moving forward, and change is inevitable. Transformation will happen, but we can either take control of that wheel or we can just let it play out with fate. It's up to us to make the decision. I love these cards for our new moon in Pisces. I feel like they all direct us to paying more attention to ourselves, to the journey that we've been on, to the journey that we want to go on in the future, and also to make sure that we are fully present in the process as it unfolds.